Welcome to the Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. Today we're talking about two categories of sparkling wine that almost never make it onto the mainstream conversation, but I think that represent two of the most exciting and genuinely undervalued things happening in the wine world right now. Crémant and Pét-Nat. Let's get into it. Crémant first. Here's the one-sentence explanation. Crémant is traditional method sparkling wine made in France, but outside of the Champagne appellation. We've had an episode on this a couple, weeks ago at this point, but the method's identical, and the second fermentation is in the bottle, aging on the lees, disgorgement, dosage, but the grapes, the soils, and the regional characters are completely different from Champagne. And because these wines don't carry the Champagne label, they don't carry the Champagne price, which makes them one of the most reliable overachievers in all of wine. There are 8 Crémant appellations in France, and I want to focus on the 3 most important for your purposes today. Crémant d'Alsace from the Alsace region in northeastern France is made primarily from Pinot Blanc and Auxerrois grapes, sometimes with Pinot Gris or Riesling. The result is a wine of real elegance and aromatic complexity, more floral and fruit forward than typical Champagne, but with a lovely richness from the generous Alsatian terroir. This is the largest volume Crémant appellation and the easiest to find. Producers include Cinq and Dauphin Moulin. Crémant de Loire from the Loire Valley is made primarily from Chenin Blanc with sometimes Cabernet Franc and Chardonnay. Chenin Blanc has extraordinary natural acidity, and when made in the traditional method with proper lees aging, it produces wines of real depth, honeyed richness, and extraordinary aging potential. This is arguably the most serious of the Crémants. Some examples could genuinely be mistaken for fine Champagne in a blind tasting. Producers include Langlois Chateau, Domaine de la Taille aux Loups, and Crémant de Bourgogne, Burgundy sparkling wine made from the same Chardonnay and Pinot Noir grapes as the great still wines of the region. This one has a built-in advantage. The grapes that don't make the cut for a great still Burgundy go into the Crémant. You're still getting Burgundian Chardonnay and Pinot Noir in a sparkling wine for $20 to $30. The quality can be genuinely impressive, and a producer to know is Louis Bouillot. Now, Pét-Nat, short for Pétillant Naturel, a naturally sparkling wine. This is the ancestral method, the oldest way of making sparkling wine, predating the traditional methods by centuries. So here's how it works. The wine is bottled while it's still in the middle of its primary fermentation. The fermentation completes inside the bottle, producing CO2 that dissolves into the wine under pressure. There is no second fermentation, no added sugar, no dosage, and in most cases no disgorgement, which is why many Pét-Nats are cloudy or hazy. The yeast is still in there. So the result is something completely different from Champagne or even Prosecco. Pét-Nat is lower in pressure, more of a gentle froth than a full sparkle, and slightly less predictable from bottle to bottle, often made from unexpected grapes, Chenin Blanc, Gamay, Riesling, Grolot, even Grenache. They are usually made with minimal or no added sulfur, which places them firmly in the natural wine world. The flavor profiles can be wild, funky, yeasty, fruity, sometimes cidery, but always interesting. They're not for everyone. The unpredictability and cloudiness put off wine drinkers who want consistency. But for those who are open to something genuinely different and alive, they're endlessly fascinating. So where to start with Pét-Nat? The Loire Valley is the heartland of the style. Look for bottles from producers like Domaine de la Papier or Christian Venier. You will also find excellent examples from Austria, Germany, and increasingly from California and New York producers working in a natural style. A word of practical advice. Buy Pét-Nat from a wine shop you trust and drink it within a few months. These wines are alive and unpredictable and not designed for aging. Open it gently because the pressure can be higher than expected. Serve it cold and prepare for something that tastes like absolutely nothing else in your glass. Funky, vital, a little wild, and completely its own thing. Tomorrow we'll dive into the practical guide to buying all of this without getting ripped off at every price point. You won't want to miss it. That's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. See you tomorrow for the next decant.